major development regarding the way that California handles gang members behind bars. The state has agreed to end the use of solitary confinement of gang leaders in prison. Action News reporter Bianca is live in our Salinas newsroom with more on the fallout.
Dan, after years of prisoner hunger strikes and legal battles, the state of California has found the use of solitary confinement to be cruel and unusual punishment. Now the state will see a dramatic reduction in the number of prisoners in isolation.
They're getting out.
Daniel knows the effect solitary confinement can have on a loved one.
When I spoke to my relatives, they had lost their spirit. It's a very lonely place. And if you don't get yourself involved mentally, if you're not mentally strong, physically strong, you will die.
He says the state's decision to change the way they deal with gang members in prison is a step in the right direction.
We've seen it from experience, and the research tells us that solitary confinement is not a very good tool to use in terms of detracting people from crime.
I'm standing in a replica of the shoe at Pelican Bay State Prison. As you can see, there is not very much room, just a couple of feet to use the restroom and not much else. These types of cells are used by inmates for up to 23 hours of their day. Over 1,000 prisoners will be removed from solitary confinement in California following the settlement of a lawsuit started by 2 inmates at Pelican Bay State Prison. Now the shoe will only be used to isolate inmates who commit new crimes behind bars. This reentry into the general population has local law enforcement worried.
Prison gangs run the streets.
In Watsonville, police officers have confiscated little messages called kites that gang members try to smuggle to their leaders in prison. These little scrolls can often carry orders to kill a rival back home.
By having them solitary confinement and not having that communication, as you can see, it still affects the city, or it still affects gang communities, or gang life in the streets that we see on the news every day, but letting them out is only going to make that communication that much faster.
Now this settlement will also limit the amount of time a prisoner can be in isolation to 5 years. Many involved in the lawsuit were in the shoe for over a decade. And there will also be a program to help prisoners reintegrate into the general population. Dan?
All right. Bianca, thank you. It's estimated about 2,000 prisoners will be released from solitary within a year of this settlement.